What's going on, folks? Welcome back to another episode of Tackle Tuesday here on Joe Bob's Bass. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm getting beyond stoked for fishing. The lakes are finally starting to open up here in Minnesota, and really just about, it's almost April, so we got a month in a week or two before bass and pike and all that is open season, right? So we can get out crappie fishing maybe here in the next 3 weeks-ish or so. But really, guys, what I'm more excited about than anything is throwing big old swim baits like this big chunky boy right here. If you're not familiar, this is the SPRO RAT. This is the RAT 50, BBZ 150 to be exact. It's 10 inches in total length, but that is counting nose to tail, right? So long, big bait, comes with two tails, comes with a pink tail, comes with this gray tail. It's about $40 on Tackle Warehouse for this big size. I believe the smaller ones, 50 is the biggest one, at least that they've got on Tackle Warehouse right now. And then it goes down like 40, 30, 25, maybe, something like that. But this one, guys, is the big one, like I said. I think, I want to say they make one bigger, but don't quote me on that. But this is the big one, right, for now. 2.5 ounces, so it's big, right? You're probably going to struggle throwing this on your typical medium heavy that's maybe rated to 3/4 of an ounce, maybe it's rated to 1 ounce. It's going to be bending that rod. It's going to be flexing that. It's going to be doing not necessarily damage, but you're going to want more rod to get the most out of this lure, right? It is a wake bait. It's sitting on the top, and you're going to hear this all day. Oh, forgot my mic's over here, right? There's not, let's see if I can do this without stabbing myself. Probably not, actually. I don't even know if there's a rattle in there. There might be something, a little bit of something, but really it's just kind of that knocking of that butt, right? And you can creep this thing real slow and give that butt just kind of nice big swings, and you can just crank this thing. And the nice thing that I like about this lure is it is tough to crank down. You really got to put some muscle on it and put your rod tip down to get this thing to go subsurface. It is super, super buoyant, okay? They come in a bunch of different cool colors. Not a bunch, a few. This is just your standard rat, okay? Nothing too special, just gray. Got those accents on the belly, the ears, the little bit of the nose, and the face detail. But it's an ABS bait, right? It's a mass-produced bait. This is one thing, two things basically that are my gripe with this bait, which when you get into other swim baits, you know, jointed swim baits, crankdowns, glides, everything has got a cork or two sometimes, depending on the brand, depending on the make, everything like that. But this one especially, sometimes these hooks, and of course now it's not going to stay, but when you cast or you hit something or whatever, that hook will get stuck in that joint, and you'll just kind of notice it. And most of the time it kind of comes out on its own after a couple clacks, but sometimes, man, it just really kind of jams in there, and that's a pain. And the other one, this happens a lot more, is it actually gets caught up here on the lip, right? And again, there's enough leeway there that it shouldn't, but sometimes, especially when you've got your line tied on, it will, depending on how you cast or how it lands, it'll almost grab the line and pull your line down between the hook and the bill there and just really give it a sideways retrieve. And you just got to wind it back in, undo it, and throw it again. So those are my two drawbacks. But as far as a big wake bait with big presence in the water, super buoyant, it's hard to crank down, it's hard to screw it up. If you're trying to get a wake, it's going to wake. It really does the trick, right? So plain and simple, that's that, guys. Going forward, I would like to do more swim bait talk. I know that it's a much smaller portion of the bass fishing world, let alone the fishing world, right? But as you can see here, I'm a big swim bait guy. Now, I'm not, I won't name any names. There's guys that have this entire wall with pegboards covered in swim baits. That's not me. I don't have that kind of money. All right. Some of these, you know, they're just all kinds. I got some DRTs. We got a bunch of throwbacks because I work there. This is another SPRO, the Chad Shad. We'll talk about at some point this year. And then we got soft baits, mag drafts, 316, Berkeley Call Shad, burritos. Even, you know, something like this, like the Diesel 7-inch, right? I think I made a video on that one already. You know, just throwing big baits is a lot of fun, especially if you have the gear for it. Now, you don't need to go and get a specialized swim bait rod. A lot of the time you can get by with just a heavier rod, right? Maybe something a little longer, maybe 7.5, maybe 8 feet long, but a heavy or even an extra heavy, if it's got that lure rating up to 2, 3, 4 ounces, it's going to be able to throw these bigger baits. But of course, once you get more serious, once you get more into it, being able to have something like, you know, the Dobbin 795 swim bait rod, which I made a video on, go check that out last year. Just having a nice quality rod that's sensitive when you're throwing things, especially like glide baits, being able to feel every twitch you give, every little input that you put into that bait really helps you detect those bites and just really know what your lure is doing in the water. So it's super cool. But anyways, guys, we'll get more into that in another week or 2 or 3 or 6 months. We'll see. But here again is the SPRO RAT, the 50 size. It's awesome. It was probably my second swim bait that I ever got. My first one here was the Viper 6 from Livingston Lures. Made a video on that about a year ago as well, so go check that out. But I think this was the second bait, swim bait that I ever got, all right? So check it out, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for leaving likes, comments, all that on the videos. Like, subscribe. Really appreciate it. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. We will see you next week. Tight lines, and go catch some fish.